There is still, as far as we know, confusion. There may still be non-compliance. But I think one of the parts of this story is that we simply can't get the information. There's not transparency. We can't get to all the people. We don't know where they are. And that's why the judge ordered the government to provide us with a list of all the detainees. It's not just that the order is, in our view, is unlawful, but even if you wanted to put that aside for the moment, the implementation of it has created a real mess. We're going to expand the litigation to challenge the executive order wholesale, that is with regard to both people who have already arrived in the U.S. and people who are overseas. What is clear is that, notwithstanding what the White House is saying, it is a Muslim ban. He said that all through the campaign. He continued to say it. And what he did ultimately is, someone said, take out a few words and maybe you can no longer say it's a Muslim ban. It's just based on territory. We intend to prove in court that the intent behind it is that it's a Muslim ban. You cannot, under our Constitution, disfavor certain religions and favor others. That's not only unconstitutional, but it's antithetical to American values. We are gearing up for a big battle. We have no illusions that the White House won't fight it hard. And so I think it's going to be a protracted litigation battle. And one of the things I think that's critical is we've seen enormous community support. And so it's really reminiscent of a classic civil rights movement. I've been doing these cases for more than 2 decades, and I cannot remember a time when there was this much community support. The issue is that even if a majority of the country, or a clear majority of the country, wanted something, but it's unconstitutional, then the courts have a duty to say so. There are policy arguments to make against what this administration's doing, but what we're doing in court is making a legal argument. And the genius of our Constitution is that minority rights are always going to be at risk if you just leave it to a vote. And so the courts have the right to say, no, you cannot do this to a minority, and we have the right to enforce it. The system that they put in place absolutely did not work. They had no idea what they were doing at the airports. They've since rolled back parts of it, like with respect to lawful permanent residents. And what needs to be understood is these weren't people just showing up for the first time who the U.S. government had no idea about. These were people who were heavily, heavily vetted.